Hi guys, welcome to this video about Binance review. I cannot cover everything about Binance. It's such a huge topic and yeah, it's impossible to cover everything, especially in a short time, but I will cover maybe 5 or 10 of the most important points which I have experienced in the last 2 years. I'm a customer of Binance. I have been customer in the last 2 years of Binance. I have done some trades there, and this is how it works, and this is my impression what I have about this exchange. When I started about 2 years ago, it was just when it was really upcoming. It was new. It was still a small exchange, but I think especially compared to Bittrex or other exchanges, it was a really small one, and I always had the impression, it's a little bit strange, and can I really trust them? And the user interface was a little bit strange, but it worked pretty well. I didn't lose money, nothing got lost. I didn't experience data breach or something like that from my account, but of course they had some security issues in the past, just lately. I think it was yesterday or the day before when 7,000 bitcoins were stolen, but seems like the customer funds are still safe, and that's important. But let's start first with the user interface, which is really important. This is the basic user interface. You have an advanced user interface and you have a basic user interface usually. I was using the basic user interface. The thing which I was always complaining about was this thing here, that you have not been able to enter either the amount of a token to buy or the let's say amount in the base currency like US dollar. So let's say you want here we have Bitcoin. Let's say you want to buy $1. You enter the amount and you right away get a suggested amount what you that's probably the last paid trade, last paid price, and of course you can adjust it up and down. And the thing was always you had to do this. You had to tell Binance how much you want to buy. But sometimes it's not like you want to buy 1 Ethereum, 1 Bitcoin. Sometimes you know how much you want to spend. Sometimes you say, okay, I want to buy Bitcoin for $50, and I don't know how much Bitcoin it is. So I just want to know how much I will get. And so you can do it vice versa now. You can say, okay, I want to spend $50, but I want 0.008 for Bitcoin for that, or I want a little bit more, but then of course the amount will be adjusted. But at least you have the possibility, more or less today, so you can really enter either the amount of coins or tokens you want to buy or sell, or the amount which you want to receive, or the amount you are willing to spend. This has been probably upgraded in the last couple of weeks or so, because just recently it was not the case. And this is really an important thing, because it can, if an exchange doesn't have such a feature, it can lead to heavy problems or errors. If you have to calculate this, maybe you do something wrong and you maybe yeah, you add a zero. I mean, yeah, you can do it. Sometimes it's really difficult to find out how many coins you can buy for a certain amount, and if you do it wrong, then you maybe do it yeah, so you end up paying way too much or something like that. Of course, always you have the possibility to enter the price. This is actually the most important thing. So always make sure you use limit order and you adjust the price you're willing to pay or you're willing to sell for. So here, same thing. You of course you have also a possibility to accept a market price, so you're not market maker, you're like market taker. And I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think the price is different. Yeah, here we can see that as a market maker there's this fee, as market taker same fee. Yeah, strange. I thought it's different. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Okay. It's just when you use Binance coins. Yeah, that's the idea. Of course, there are always fees related to trading, and the fees are usually, I think, in the currency which you're using to buy or sell. But it can be. You can use Binance coin to use as a fee, but you have to first buy Binance coins, and then you have a lower fee, and looks like you will have the same fee as market taker or maker, if I'm not wrong here. There's also stop limit now, so it looks like they have really upgraded the appearance and possibilities. So from my side, we cannot complain regarding that. So usually the interface works pretty fast. Of course, when you're searching like in trade history for a longer time period, then it can go a little bit longer. But I mean, there are restrictions anyway. You cannot search for more than 3 months, and so you should get a result probably within half a minute or so. So what my problem is more is like when you do a trade, sometimes it happens that you get a lot of different prices. So I mean, even when you set a limit, so it can be like you want to buy something up to a limit, but of course sometimes you get some parts of the trade cheaper. You're not paying the maximum for the whole thing, and then you get different amounts for different prices. As you can see, sometimes I have seen that my like a buy order was filled in 20 partial orders with different amounts and different prices, and there is nothing, or at least I haven't been able to find something where Binance was able to provide me with an average price. So if you have to enter that in like an Excel sheet or on Crypto Compare to have your portfolio updated, then it will be really difficult to find out how much it was. So you have to really do a lot of calculation on your side. It would be pretty easy for Binance to do that. It's a little bit disappointing that they don't provide this information. When it comes to withdrawals and deposits, they usually work pretty good. You have, of course, some levels on your account, and you will have different withdrawal limits with different levels on your account. So you have to make KYC before you can withdraw over a certain amount, which is pretty good. I mean, of course, that helps for the safety for everybody. Yeah, the withdrawals sometimes can take quite some time. That's maybe also some kind of security measure, and to prevent that a lot of funds get stolen. But yeah, even though they stole 7,000 bitcoins yesterday, which is really bad, but it's only 2% of the whole Bitcoin amount Binance was or is having. And so they will cover this amount with this Save You thing, which they cover. I mean, that's a fund which they cover with 10% of the trading fees, and so they can cover this 40 million loss. I mean, they make even the whole profit of Binance is in the billions, so don't worry about that. If a few Bitcoin are stolen, they are usually pretty let's say cooperative, or when it comes to Bitcoin or something stolen, that sometimes can even be better than when you store some cryptocurrencies on your local wallet. If it gets stolen there, it's gone. If it's stolen from Binance, sometimes you get even help from Binance. I've seen this a couple of times when people have been using API keys, let's say on bots and some things, and they get a security breach on the bots, and the API keys were stolen, and people, scammers or thieves, had access to the funds through the API keys. I mean, you cannot withdraw then funds, but you can do special trading with sophisticated trading bots. You can transfer like money even if you have only the API keys, and that happened with a couple of hundred accounts, I think, because a large bot was hacked. And as far as I know, Binance was refunding all the lost funds from these people, which if they were using like normal accounts where they have the private keys, or like Trezor or Nano or something like that, if something gets stolen from there, then it's gone. Nobody will help you. So that's an advantage, of course. A lot of people say, as long as you don't own the private keys, you don't own the money. I mean, it's really controversial, and I cannot really recommend for you what to do. I'm just saying, storing everything on a local wallet, like say a USB key or so, has some advantages, but it has some disadvantages as well. Of course, most of the people recommend using Nano or Trezor or something like that. I will put down the link into the description anyway, if you want to buy something like that. I'm using it too, but I use also exchanges sometimes, especially for trading. So withdrawals take some time if you need cryptocurrency really fast. I mean, let's say you want to buy coffee, you cannot use your funds from Binance because it takes way too long. I had to send somebody money within, let's say, I think it was 15 minutes. It was just for a friend. He wanted to use it on a website, and he had 15 minutes to do that, and it didn't work. So it was rejected, and we had to recover the funds. I mean, we still got the funds back, but it was a pain. So I did the same thing with normal wallet. I think it was Ethos, which you can download on every smartphone. It's a pretty good app, and it has a lot of possibilities. It's very easy, it's secure, and I did same thing from there. and it worked right away. I mean, so it didn't have to do with a slow Bitcoin network or backup jammed network or something like that. And it was really on the Binance side. So they were super slow, and they were not only super slow, they were super expensive. They charged me for one transfer, I think it was $2.50, and for the same amount Ethos was charging I think 50 cents or something like that. And with Ethos I was able to select the speed of the transfer. With Binance you cannot select the speed of the transfer, at least as far as I know or I have experienced. So I can't show you anything at the moment how it works, because withdrawals are suspended, I think, for a week because of the security breach. But the good thing is with withdrawals, something I really like, you can, when you enter a new destination wallet, let's say you want to transfer funds to another exchange or to your Nano, Trezor or whatever, you can enter the wallet and give a name. So let's say it's Peter's wallet, and you enter the name Peter's wallet, and you enter the wallet address, and then you start with a small amount which is recommended. I mean, let's say you transfer Bitcoin in the value of maybe $10 or something like that. Actually, it doesn't make sense because of $2.50 transfer fee, but you always want to test if it's the right wallet and everything works. So you can enter that and you make the transfer, and when everything is good, you don't have to enter the wallet name or number again. You can just pick the one which you have used last time, and so you are 100% sure that the cryptocurrency gets to the right location or to the right wallet, so you are not doing something wrong. That's really good. It was not always like this, but they have also added this feature recently. If you're making deposits that work pretty fast, you will see that something is going on the network, but it will have the state pending for quite some time. But I mean, not longer than with other exchanges. You don't have to worry about that. When it comes to support cases, they have been responding pretty fast, which is good, because there are other known exchanges like Kraken or definitely other exchanges where it's really super hard to get any decent support in required time. So they even have a chat here, and usually they will respond pretty fast. That's really good. I mean, there are like Qcoin, I think, or what was it? Can't remember that it was almost impossible to get somebody some answer in English, because they are mainly in Chinese. Communicating in Chinese, so it's almost impossible to get an answer in English. So with Binance, absolutely no problem, and they are usually very helpful. What I didn't like is, so because of it's the largest exchange, I mean, of course, except from the derivatives, like when you have these something like BitMEX, where you can do leveraged trading. They have much larger amounts, but you cannot compare. It's not the same thing. But it's a huge exchange. They have a huge market value. When you go to coin market cap, then no matter what coin you are using or looking at, Binance usually has the top volume. You can always see here, you can go to coin market cap, you pick, here we have the overview, you pick coin or token, you go to market, and then you see the 24-hour volume, and usually Binance will be right on top. Of course, not today because of the security breach. Today it's probably pretty low the volume because you cannot transfer any token from or to Binance, and you can just trade within Binance today. So, but usually it will be right on top, at least in the first position 1, 2, 3 or something like that. The thing is, they have also been a little bit misusing their market power, and that's the bad thing. I mean, usually they have been trying to good to customers, but I mean, the owner CC, he is, it looks like, I mean, sometimes it's close to really misuse market power, and they have already been delisting coins just because of personal preference, how it looks. I mean, yeah, there was something going on with, can't remember, first thing was Bitcoin Cash, but I think there was another thing. CC was arguing with a CEO of a coin or token, and yeah, so finally CC said, okay, if you don't agree with me, I just delist your token. I mean, that's horrible behavior, and I have seen already many delistings here. Something was also really bad. It was Bitcoin, I think. It was there was a huge hype. There was a Binance listing, I think it was a year ago or something like that, and so everybody thought, oh wow, if Binance is listing Bitcoin, I mean, that's a huge accreditation or something like that. I mean, that's a huge yeah, thing. So it looks like, I mean, there were always some people saying Bitcoin is a scam, but when Binance is listing it, that's a huge thing for such a coin, and a lot of people were buying, and the price was jumping up. And after I think three months or so, Binance was again delisting. So the price was dropping like crazy, and all the people who were buying into this hype lost a lot of money. I think this is not good. This is a really bad behavior. This is absolutely not a good thing. So I hope they will stop to do this thing. Yeah. And they have also started recently with this ECO hype. This, I mean, that's the successor of the ICOs. ICOs now turn a little bit more ECOs, which are like, instead of initial coin offering, it's exchange coin offerings, and they look at least as manipulated as they were with ICOs, but it's just that exchanges get a lot of money because of the hype, and it has been really questioned, especially the thing which is going on now at Binance. So that's also a thing which I really don't like. And also is the recent mainnet launch of the Binance coin. Now Binance is trying to attract a lot of other tokens to the Binance mainnet, and I don't know how decentralized it is. Before, most of the tokens came out on Ethereum. Now a lot of them come out on Binance, and Binance is heavy centralized. It's the biggest exchange. I mean, they are working somehow towards decentralized exchange, but for me, I mean, it's not a good thing to see that. Also, the behavior from CC, the owner, regarding this breach, 7,000 Bitcoin stolen. I mean, the good thing is they were reacting really proactively and communicating that the funds will be safe, and everything was stolen will be replaced with these SafeU funds, from the SafeU funds. But there was some There were some tweets from CC, so I couldn't find the original post, but here somebody is reacting on a post from CC when he was asking about the possibility to roll back the Bitcoin blockchain because of the stolen 7,000 Bitcoins. When you have the hash power to control 51% of the blockchain, 51% of the hash power, you can manipulate the whole blockchain. And this is something you should never do. There have been can't remember which blockchain it was, and they had huge amounts being stolen. I think there were hundreds of millions, and they rolled back the blockchain to recover these amounts. But this is actually something which should never be done, or only in really rare situation, and definitely not for only 7,000 Bitcoin. 41 million or 40 million for Binance, that's nothing. Imagine what happened if they really rolled back the whole Bitcoin blockchain with all the transactions, not only this one but also other transactions. Somebody maybe sold his home for I don't know how many Bitcoins, and the home is gone, but the Bitcoins are gone too because the transfer was rolled back, and those things. You cannot do something like that. It's the Bitcoin itself, it's the most trustworthy blockchain, and if it's not trustworthy anymore, if they just roll it back because of a breach, that would totally miscredit the whole ecosystem. That would be absolutely horrible. And absolutely, I cannot more agree on this thing. So luckily they didn't do that, but it's a little bit scary to hear from CC that he was even thinking about doing that. The idea was not to steal additional Bitcoin, but you never know. If somebody has the power to do that, that's already scary enough, and the damage only for posting such an intention has caused extreme damage to the whole blockchain. It will take a long time to recover from that, I'm pretty sure. But actually I want to close with a more positive note, because actually overall I had always or mostly a positive experience on Binance. So I wanted to close on a positive note, and that is the behavior on forks. These days it's not such a big topic anymore. In 2017 it was a huge topic with all these forks especially on the Bitcoin. And so Binance had always a really good reputation on supporting forks, at least as long as they were really reputable, honest, and not only scam coins like Super Bitcoin and all this trash. But when it came to really good projects, they were always supporting, and they are always also supporting mainnet launches. So if you have a token here on Binance, and you can really expect that everything will be converted into the new coins on the new mainnet launch. Let's say it was last things we had was Theta token, and now there's even something else, forgot the name, but anyway, as long as you have your funds here, they are safe in case of a mainnet launch. That's also an advantage compared to Nano and Trezor. If you have the things there, you have to make sure that you transfer everything and then convert and move them back. So yeah. I mean, overall, it's really not a bad thing. It's when I compare it to other exchanges, it was probably, or yeah, most likely the best experience overall, and safety, as you can see, even in situations where there have funds stolen, your funds are still safe. So yeah, actually I can really recommend. There are things which are not perfect, but I still can recommend this exchange, at least at the moment. Let's see how it develops over time, but at the moment, yeah, my recommendation at this point. So I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things, especially if you have complaints about Binance, if you had already bad experience or really super good experience, like stolen funds which have been recovered and or replaced by Binance. Would be really awesome if you could leave something in the feedback area and to let everybody else know what your experience was. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.